Hey my Legion, how y'all doing today? I found out Wednesday night that Iron Sheik passed away. I didn't have a chance to do a video. And then Thursday I was going to do a video. I'm doing one Thursday night and put it for Friday. I thought it was a special bonus. I mean, years back in 2014, back on Netflix before, it was just all about their own programming, right? They used to have different stuff, and they had like different documentaries about wrestlers and stuff. And they had a whole bunch on it. And there was one about Iron Sheik. We watched that, and it was like I watched with Dad, and it was like a joint review of that and Game Over that about the E.T. Atari game, where they had all those games buried in a landfill or something like in California or Arizona or something like that. They couldn't sell them. Well, anyways, you know, we were talking about, I mean, Iron Sheik lived to be 81, which is really good. Because most wrestlers, they beat up their bodies so much as far as like addiction, just abuse, constant abuse, maybe steroids and stuff like that can be involved. And they might live in their early 40s. That's usually when they pass away, like 38, 39, 40, 41, maybe in their 50s. But he lived to be 81, which is great. And he was one of the very first wrestlers I saw. Because when I first started watching wrestling, I knew just of pro wrestling. Andre the Giant. Because I knew that my dad always told me about him. And they had a $6 Million Man. He played Sasquatch. We loved that when he played Sasquatch. $6 Million Man on Sunday evening. This is way when I was real little. And then like in second grade, I started watching like there's some low budget wrestling, pro wrestling. And it might have been WWW. It used to be WWE, Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment. And then it became WWE, but it used to be Worldwide Wrestling, like Wild Wrestling or something like that. By Vince Jr. I mean, Vince Sr. owned that. It was real low budget. I mean, it would play in the summertime. I know, and then it would stop playing. That's why I guess I did. And then it was like third grade, fourth grade, and I think fourth grade, fifth grade. Then that's when they had the syndicated show on there, the big budgeted show, was Vince Jr. hosting it. It was an hour long of Superstars of Wrestling, or I think it was just Superstars of Wrestling, and then they had the main event on Saturday night. I mean, but back in those days, the wrestling I remember, well, the first one I ever saw was Andre the Giant. Then I remember seeing George the Animal Steel, Bruno Sammartino, Chief Jay Strongbow. And this is back whenever you saw Lou Albano was on there. This is back whenever I can't remember the guy's announcer. He used to announce with Gorilla Monsoon. This is back when he used to wrestle too, before he became an announcer. They had like Wild Samoans and stuff like that. And then I remember seeing Iron Sheik in like early 80s and stuff like that. Iron Sheik's been around for a long time. I remember his camera clutch. He was really good at playing a bad guy, and then he got everybody behind him and all. I mean, then he became, after like he got away from wrestling, he became like another celebrity, like on Twitter, saying like incredible stuff. Because I always thought Rock was the first one to say jabroni. No, it was the Iron Sheik. And he would say like the most outrageous things, really funny stuff. I'll break you, I'll own you, I'll break you. And that's what the movie The Sheik was about. I didn't know he had a second career on Twitter. And then he'd be like guest on Howard Stern and stuff like that. He was really funny. And very loved and stuff. And then I remember seeing him on, I wonder what his, he thought of his character on Young Rock was. Because a lot of the people on Young Rock don't really look like the wrestlers. I guess he looked a little bit like Iron Sheik, but somewhat. But some of them don't look anything like... I mean, the guy who played Rocky's dad, Rocky Johnson, he looks a lot like him. Some of the other people didn't look anything like those wrestlers. But I still watch Young Rock. I got to finish watching season 3 and then do a review of that. But I want to say rest in peace, Iron Sheik. I mean, Iron Sheik was a cool dude. And he was a good villain, too. He was a good villain. And he was great. I mean, he lived to be 81, which is a good thing in the world of professional wrestling. Professional wrestling has such a dark side. He's lucky he lived to be that old. So I want to say, I'm not exactly sure the cause of what happened. But I mean, I was told he passed, and I wanted to just do my little recollection of him. And how cool. And then, like, one of the things that that got him in trouble, like, he and Hacksaw Jim Duggan are supposed to be enemies. Yeah, they got busted with drugs in their car driving together. My dad told me that. They saw it on the news. That was some bit breaking kayfabe right there. But I wanted to say, heart goes out to his family and his fans. I'm one of the fans. I mean, he would definitely be missed. Iron Sheik was funny. He was a good, likable guy. And coming up next will be my review of from 2014. My review of the Sheik, but the document on him, and also it's combined with the Atari ET failure called Game Over. So coming up in the next is a review of that. Just thought I'd bring back old memories from back in 2014. My dad was still around. I remember doing a review, and I did it in a small bedroom. So I hope you like this. Hope you like this video, and I just want to say rest in peace to Iron Sheik, and I hope you like the review coming up. Rest in peace, buddy. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I was on Netflix, and I saw they have things saying recently added. Not new release, but recently added. There's two really cool documentaries I checked out last night called Atari Game Over and The Sheik. A documentary about the Iron Sheik. So I was really excited to watch those two. I watched them both with my dad. Now the one about Atari Game Over is about basically a documentary about Atari, but the main focus is the creation of the worst video game ever made, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which was a rush job to cash in on the profitability of the movie around Christmas time, right? And there was an urban legend saying that they buried a whole crap load of E.T. cartridges in the desert to get rid of them because they couldn't sell and they were being returned big time. And that's a part of urban legend, right? And this movie helps explore that because they go to the landfill, and this guy who works at the landfill actually took like 3-4 years out of his life to figure out where they were, and then they had to get all the permits and stuff from the council and stuff, and they tried to find out if the urban legend was true that Atari buried all those games. I don't want to give away that much more. It's an hour and 4 minutes or an hour and 6 minutes. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. My dad wasn't too fond of it. I liked it, but I mean, if you're interested in video game and video game urban legend, definitely see it, because E.T. is the most infamous game for being bad. Even though there's probably, I don't know if there's any games worse out there than E.T. I was fortunate enough. I grew up. I was born in '68. I grew up with the Atari 2600, and I was fortunate enough not to get E.T. because I remember in school, some kids got that because E.T. was like the hottest movie out there. It was a huge, monstrous hit. And I know some kids said, well, I got the E.T. game. That game sucked. And they sent it. I mean, I think people sent it back, or some people still own it. I don't know. But I was fortunate enough never to have that game. And there's games of E.T. video game play on YouTube if you want to check out and see how bad that game really is. It's funny. And also Conan O'Brien did something where he did a bunch of Atari 2600 games, and they had his fans vote on which game they want him to play the most, and the most one was E.T. It's really funny. If you get a chance to see that video, it's really funny. Well, anyways, I give that a 10 out of 10. It's very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Now, the other video I saw was Iron Sheik. I was really excited to see that, too, about the most infamous bad guy in wrestling history, pretty much. Well, at least one of the most, but probably at least in the top 3 of the biggest bad guys ever in wrestling history. And this talks about his life. When he used to be a bodyguard for the Shah of Iran. This is back in more peaceful times. He was an Olympian trained Olympians when he went back to, he left there and he went to America. It talked about him going to WWE. It talked about the giant thing that really hurt his career whenever him and Hacksaw Jim Duggan were caught uh, riding together, and there was like cocaine and alcohol involved and stuff like that, and that killed his career pretty much. And then it talks about his daughter being unfortunately killed, and him going back to popularity. I don't want to give away that much, but it's very entertaining. I get 10 out of 10, and there's lots of interviews from other wrestlers. But Vince McMahon is not to be seen in this one. But there's interviews from The Rock. They talk to Rock a lot. You see a whole bunch of wrestlers. Jake the Snake Roberts, he's really in bad shape. Oh my God. Cowboy Bob Orton, a whole bunch of great wrestlers in it. It's a very entertaining movie. If you get a chance, if you like, I think all guys, I mean, if you love video games, you definitely check out Try a Game Over. And if you love professional wrestling, check out The Sheik. They're both two great movies. So, they're right on Netflix. They just got added on Netflix. I think you'll really enjoy them. So until next time, bye, please take care of my legion. Two perfect documentaries and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. All right. Take care, everybody. Yep.